And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Steven here once again. And tonight, I want to talk to you about the Xfinity Series and Truck Series schedule that I didn't get a chance to load last time, plus my thoughts on Darlington. Before I do, if you like content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and ring the bell for notifications like this. So, without further ado, let's get started. Last week, as you recall, the entire Cup, Xfinity and Truck Series schedule for 2025 was released. I already talked about the Cup Series schedule, but the big recap there is that Bowman Gray will host the Clash. We now know what the 5 Amazon races are, the 5 TNT races are, and NASCAR is going to Mexico for the first time in a points-paying event. Or at least for the first time since way back when. I don't remember the exact year. But anyway, for the Xfinity Series, they're going back to Mexico to join the Truck Series, to join the Cup Series. Also, the return of the spring Bristol date, Rockingham, and Gateway will return to the Xfinity Series. But in the process, both Richmond races, New Hampshire, and Michigan will be dropped from the schedule. I'm excited for Rockingham to return, along with Gateway and Mexico for the Xfinity Series side of things, because that series to me does produce the best racing overall of the three. But I am disappointed that Richmond won't be included in the schedule though, along with New Hampshire and Michigan, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Now, the Truck Series will also be at Rockingham, but we'll return to Watkins Glen, Michigan, and New Hampshire as well, but also will debut at Lime Rock and the Roval as well, being dropped there for Gateway and Milwaukee. Hopefully, besides Lime Rock and Rockingham, I'm curious to see how the trucks do on the Roval, because they never raced in that circuit before, just Cup and Xfinity. So we have to wait and see how that will play out when we get to the playoffs in 2025. But overall, I like the schedule for all three series. The only thing left to do now is to find out who's going to be calling the races for the Amazon, TNT, and CW portions of the schedule. But we'll see. Another thing something I broke earlier today is that Eric Jones won't be returning to Junior Motorsports next year, but instead he will return to Gibbs for a multi-year deal. We don't know the number at this time, however, but I could see Jones having a slightly better run at Gibbs compared to Junior, because let's face it, Junior is the best Chevrolet team overall. Gibbs is probably the best team in general in the Xfinity Series, to be honest. And speaking of Xfinity, I got one other announcement to make regarding that, because Chandler Smith apparently will drive a car next year for calling either Xfinity or Cup next year as well. I think it's Xfinity though, so let me double check on that, and I'll get back with you on Thursday to confirm one way or the other. But it's gonna be fun to see how these drivers will interact with their new teams, or in Jones's case, a returned team. So now let's get to Darlington right quick. And unfortunately, in case you haven't noticed, I don't have much time here at the park, so I want to make this quick and get it out. I'll go more in depth and preview the playoffs on Thursday. But just a simple, short, and quick video and to the point. This time, folks, okay? Saturday, Christopher Bell won his second Xfinity Series race of the season. The only other one being in New Hampshire. But unlike New Hampshire, when he won that race, he ended up third in the Cup Series race, with Chase Briscoe getting the win in the Southern 500, meaning that he's locked in, the final driver on wins to lock in, with the only two on points going to Martin Truex Jr. despite crashing out early in the race, and Ty Gibbs. Now, the Southern 500 had two races to me. One was the Kyle Larson show, where he led over 200 laps, and for the most part, appeared to be the dominant car in the race. And probably had things went his way, he probably would have won the race. But I am impressed with Kyle Busch, showing that despite Richard Childress losing the penalty for Austin Dillon, they're not giving up yet for Kyle Busch. And I won't be surprised if Kyle somehow wins the race during the playoffs. Could be this weekend in Atlanta, to be honest. Or it could be Talladega, Bristol, Watkins Glen, the Roval. Who knows? But I think with confidence I can say that Kyle will win a race before the season is done. It's just a matter of which track will that win take place. But I'll go more in depth on the playoffs on Thursday. But for now, due to a lack of time I got around here, that's about it. So, don't forget, like this video, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see all of you on Thursday. Bye!